All right, so the book Pilot picked up was a familiar book to you, The Monster Who Ate My Peas. And on the first video, I said there's a little bit of onomatopoeia going on in this book. So I want you listening for that. The Monster Who Ate My Peas. Eat your peas, said my mom, or you won't get dessert. I said before peas, I would rather eat dirt. I know you don't want to, she said with a glare, but until they're all eaten, you'll stay in your chair. I begged and I whined, I got down on my knees. Please, Mommy, don't make me eat all of these peas. I stomped and I grumbled, I yelled and I pled. Why can't I eat corn or potatoes instead? Eat up those peas, do it now, my mom said, or you'll get no ice cream and you'll go straight to bed. My mom left the kitchen. I poked at those peas. Their sickening smell made me weak in the knees. Quickly I offered the peas to my pup, but Ralph barely sniffed them and turned his nose up. That's what Pilot would have done too. I closed my eyes tightly and whispered a wish. Please let these peas disappear from my dish. And something quite strange and mysterious occurred, almost as if someone somewhere had heard. For right out of nowhere, a monster appeared. His hair looked like spinach, and so did his beard. His big, bloated body was broccoli green, and his breath, when he sneered, reeked of rotten sardines. Each eyeball resembled a big Brussels sprout. His long, bumpy squash nose was sticking straight out. Large, liver-like lips peeled back to reveal sharp teeth like a shark's and a tongue like an eel. Long octopus tentacles writhered from his torso. Quite gruesome already, those arms made him more so. His ears were like mushrooms, his chin like a beet, and he balanced himself on two big stinky feet. Just how he got in, I hadn't a clue. My heart skipped a beat as I asked, "Who are you?" I'm going to start leaving some blanks in there so you can feel free to fill in the word. He growled, "I'm the monster who helps kids like you. I'll eat up their eggplant. I eat turnips too. I gobble down foods that make small stomachs quiver, like lima beans, collard greens, spinach, and liver. I came in reply to your pitiful plea, and I'm ready and willing to eat every pea. I'll eat the big ones, I'll eat the small, but then you must give me your new soccer ball." I thought of my soccer ball under my bed. I once bounced it 23 times on my head. But then when I looked at the pea on my plate, my brain filled with dread and with disgust and with, you know the word I never say. "What is your answer?" the monster demanded. "I don't have much time, so I'll be very candid. Millions of kids want their yucky foods eaten, from Bali to Raleigh, from Chile to Sweden." "Okay," I said finally, "I'll give you my ball. Eat up my peas, eat them up one and all." He laughed a cold laugh as he picked up each pea, and he swallowed them down individually. All 64 peas, slimy, gruesome, and green, he ate every one and licked the plate clean. And after he licked and he lapped and he slurped, he set the plate down and he boorishly burped. How rude. Then just as my mother came back in the room, he vanished no trace with a noise that went voom. Mom looked at my plate and she shouted with glee, "You did it, you ate each and every pea." She gave me a hug and my ice cream so yummy, with chocolate on top, so good in my, that's right, tummy. Then I went on upstairs and peeked under my bed. I started to sweat, my heart filled with dread, for there in the spot where my ball used to be, there was only one very small squishy green pea. And now when I want to play soccer with Dad, I think of that ball and I get very sad. If I said it one time, then I've said it 10. I won't make a trade with a monster again. Not long after that, we had peas with our meal. The monster appeared with the same kind of deal. I'll eat up your peas just as quick as you like, but then, in return, you must give me your... Anybody remember? Bike. I thought of my bicycle shiny and new. I spent my whole savings to buy it, that's true. But when I looked down at those gloppy green peas, I felt like you feel when you get a disease. Okay, I said sadly, I'll give you my bike. Just eat these peas and get out of my sight. The monster then opened his mouth very wide. He took all my peas and he dumped them inside. He chewed and he chomped and he swallowed them down. Then, phoom, he was gone, off for some other town. My mom served me cake, but I just couldn't eat it. I walked to the door feeling down and defeated. I twisted the knob and I shuffled outside to get on my bike and go for a ride. I looked all around and I started to cry. My bike wasn't there, and I think you know why. And right in the space where my bike used to be, there was only one very small mushy green pea. Now when my friends take their bikes for a ride, they never ask me, so I stay home inside. If I've said it one time, then I've said it 10. I won't make a trade with a monster again. A week after that, there were peas in the stew. The monster showed up like he always would do. The words that he said made my whole body freeze. Give me your puppy and I'll eat your peas. I looked down at Ralph. He gazed up at me. I looked at my plate, at each ghastly green pea. Come on, growled the monster. I'm already late. Give me your dog and I'll finish your plate. I looked at those peas and I just about gagged. I looked back at Ralph. His scruffy tail wagged. My pup put his cold little nose on my knee. I reached for my fork and I speared a small pea. I opened my mouth and I squinched up my eyes. The peas touched my tongue and I got a surprise. That pea didn't taste like I thought it would. I had to admit that pea tasted good. I picked up another and chewed it and swallowed. Each pea tasted better than those that had followed. I ate every pea till there wasn't a trace, and Ralph thanked me kindly by licking my face. I turned to the monster, that grumpy old guy, to say I don't need you and tell him goodbye. But right where the spot where the monster had stood was only a pea, and it tasted quite good. And that's today's book. So I heard onomatopoeia in there. Why don't you try to figure out some other words that you know that also have onomatopoeia? Have a good day.